Good evening, Clarion. Thanks for joining us on tonight's news update for Wednesday, October 12th, 2011. I'm Britt Seahall.
And I'm Jillian Hartman. Tonight, a school van accident near Pittsburgh.
Plus, a look at Clarion University homecoming, but first. Something smells in Franklin, and it is not the delicious scent of the apples from their recent Apple Fest. Franklin Street Department Supervisor Terry Ruditis said he noticed the smell Tuesday morning. Some reports said that it smelled like something was rotting or sewage. Ruditis believes the rotting smell to be the result of gray water. Gray water is water used by the vendors of Applefest when cleaning up. He said the vendors probably improperly disposed of wastewater in a rush to clean up. The smell has been lessening and it is expected to dissipate further as it rains. The county property manager Mike Johnson plans to continue investigating until the smell is gone.
Two McKees Rocks preschoolers went on an unexpected ride this morning when the school van they were in rolled over. The driver slammed the brakes and swerved to avoid a car that suddenly stopped in front of the van. The van then went up a small in-break and rolled over. The accident took place at the intersection of 3rd and Freshman Avenue around 7 a.m. No one was injured in the accident.
Beginning October 17th, Clarion Borough will be offering leaves curbside collection. Those who want to have their leaves removed must rake them into a parking spot or against the road in front of their house. The leaves will be only removed if they are free of brush, twigs, and clippings to avoid damage to the equipment. Overhanging tree branches must be clipped back so the trucks can reach the curb for pickup. Pickup is offered twice a week for the next 4 weeks by request only and weather permitting. Residents who would like to receive this service should call the number at the bottom of the screen by 3 p.m. Friday for Monday pickup and by 3 p.m. Wednesday for Thursday pickup. And last Thursday, Clarion University students gathered for their annual homecoming pep rally.
Ariana Bay was there and has more.
Students brought their CU spirit to Tippin's Gymnasium on Thursday, October 6th to support the sports teams and organizations as we prepare for our homecoming game. Performances by Hazardous, our hip-hop dance team, got the crowd hype, and the cheerleaders showed the students just how much spirit they really have. Coaches introduced our Golden Eagle athletes from the track, basketball, wrestling, and of course our football team. We were also introduced to Miss Clarion University 2011.
Miss Clarion University, and I feel great to be Miss Clarion University. I feel I have so much more spirit from my school. I love Clarion, I love this school, so I'm honored.
How did you feel about hearing everybody clapping for you at the pep rally today?
I felt great. I felt like I was in high school again because everybody knew me in high school, and it was just like, everybody knows me. That's so cool.
President Whitney made an appearance, and former homecoming queen and king came back to crown the new homecoming winners.
It was just fantastic to crown someone that I was with.
How did you guys prepare for the pep rally tonight?
I drove in from Pittsburgh with Lyle, and we got here and just came ready to give away our next crowns.
The pep rally got the students excited for the game and gave them an opportunity to show school spirit. Students and faculty filled the gymnasium tonight to support the Clarion athletic teams and organizations as we prepare for Saturday's game at the 2011 pep rally. I'm Ariana Bay reporting from Tippin Gymnasium, CU TV News.
Homecoming court was announced at the pep rally. Jasmine Glanton has more.
And boy's dream is to be a homecoming king or queen. 2011 homecoming pep, one of Clarion University's biggest campus events. Altogether, there were 16 men and women running for the homecoming title. There were 2 couples for each class standing.
I couldn't believe it. Everyone, everyone kept saying, like, Darren, I voted for you, Darren, I voted for you, but I never thought about it. I just put it out of my head until now, so that's what I did.
How do you feel?
I'm in awe. I'm very excited, very honored. It's such a great feeling to know that everyone supports you, and I'm with you. Like, they said they voted, and I was like, I don't know, but It's an amazing feeling. It's wonderful to feel.
It
was an amazing turnout here inside of Tippin Gymnasium. Congratulations to Darian Rivera and Aaron Stovich, the 2011 Homecoming King and Queen. I'm Jasmine Glanton reporting from Tippin, CUTV News.
Topeka, Kansas is making national headlines. Last night, the mayor and city council voted to repeal the city's ordinance against domestic violence. As Monica Castro reports, the controversy is over who should pay to prosecute the crimes.
Very disappointed. I think it's a very sad day for Topeka, but also a very sad day for victims because it sends, I think, a very bad message.
Topeka City Council member Denise Everhart expressed her disapproval with repealing the ordinance throughout the work session and council meeting. Now she says it's up to the Shawnee County District Attorney to find a solution and bring justice to victims.
Puts more pressure on him, but many cities in this state prosecute misdemeanors, and we even had our own prosecutors say that they've all done it. So we certainly could step in immediately and taken care of that as a city, and I think it was our responsibility, but like I said, the majority didn't agree with me.
Is that this issue get immediate attention. We have cases that have been unprosecuted for over a month now. We have victim safety being compromised. So that is my number one priority. As several council members said, it is also their priority.
Interim City Manager Dan Stanley says repealing the ordinance will not decriminalize domestic violence, nor is it about forcing the district attorney to take over the role of prosecuting domestic cases.
They wanted to remove the ambiguity of who's really responsible here. If you have it, well, then we can dump it on you and simply remove that. As a number of Kansas communities do not have that ordinance, provides the clarification that is the responsibility of the district attorney to do so. And in the negotiations that are to come, we want to find a way to help him to be able to do that.
Catherine Wood, who spoke during the public comment, says now it's a waiting game to see what happens next.
I think the more important thing to do is come together during these difficult economic times and figure out how we can make domestic violence a priority in our communities and for our state.
The first thing NBA Commissioner David Stern did Monday night when announcing part of the NBA season would be canceled was to apologize to the thousands of people who rely on the sport for their livelihood. Casey Wine spoke to some of them.
Farm of Beverly Hills near Staples Center relies on customers going to Lakers and Clippers games for about a third of its business during basketball season. CEO Fran Berger is preparing for a long lull.
Staffing's going to get cut way back. Everything's going to get cut way back. We won't be buying as much. We won't be having as many people working at those nights and those hours. It's going to hit a lot of people.
Restaurant workers making minimum wage plus tips, arena employees making $11 an hour.
I understand as far as all the union talks, I know they have to negotiate everything, but there's other people out there that actually need the money.
My wife and I, we can't go on vacations, and that's just the things we have to cut back on. I have to make sure I watch out for the bills that I have, so I don't want to overspend myself now.
The loss is particularly hard for workers and businesses near Staples Center, home to 2 NBA teams and the potential for 82 nights plus playoffs in lost revenue. In Atlanta, restaurants near Phillips Arena already are reeling from the recent relocation of the Thrashers professional hockey team. Now the NBA's Hawks are gone until mid-November at least.
There's definitely going to be a decrease in business on what would have been home games. We usually get a nice pop 2 hours before the game, and then depending on how they do, some after-game business also.
You've got the Lakers in town, or you've got LeBron in town, then it becomes a whole day affair.
Restaurants in some cities say convention and concert business will help soften the blow, but not for about 2,000 unionized workers at NBA arenas in California.
We have billionaires disputing in a dispute with millionaire ball players, and typically as it's happening across America, it's the working people that suffer the most.
The CEO of this restaurant doesn't expect a deal before January.
If the NFL can figure it out, I don't know why the NBA can't figure it out.
One of the biggest concerns for workers here at Staples Center is if the NBA labor dispute drags on, they may not be able to work the minimum number of hours required to qualify for health insurance. Casey Wyan, CNN, Los Angeles.
Now here's a look at your weather forecast with Mike Friend.
Good evening, Clarion. I'm Mike Friend here with your Wednesday evening weather forecast. Starting out, let's go ahead and take a look at our almanac. Averages today, high of 62, low of 39. Actuals a bit below that, high of 58, low of 51. Records a warm 82 back in 1954 and a low of 26 back in 1957. Sunrise today at 7:26 a.m. and the sunset is a little bit after 6. Right now outside it's rainy, however that rain's been here all day. 56 degrees, so it is cool. A wind coming out of the east, southeast at 11 miles an hour. Real feel right now about 54 degrees. Current conditions around the area, as I said, Clarion is at 56. Around Pennsylvania, all in the 50s. Johnstown, as you can see, at 54. Pittsburgh down here at 59. Tomorrow's highs looking across the country. Some warm temperatures looking up. Phoenix and Los Angeles both in the 90s. Moving back across the Midwest, you have Rapid City, Omaha, and Dallas all in upper numbers. Overnight, it's still going to be rainy, 51-degree temperatures. The wind's going to continue out of the southeast. Now, the rain is going to vanish very late this evening, so we should move on into tomorrow, where it's just going to be cloudy, 66-degree temperatures. So it's going to be an okay day. It's just about okay. So wind's going to calm down, 20% chance of rain when that happens. 10-day outlook, we're going to say Thursday, as I said, the rain is going to disappear. However, it's going to show back up on Friday and Saturday with the highs being in the high 50s. Temperature's going to peak and the sun's going to go ahead and pop out on Sunday, and then that rain's going to come back on Monday and all through next week, leading up to next Saturday. It's going to be rainy. Temperatures ranging from the mid to high 50s and some 40s in there.
I was really getting used to that nice weather. What is this?
This is October weather for Clarion, and you know, I look back to last year this time, same thing.
Yeah.
Same terrible rainy weather. But hey, we had a good ALF, so
that's true.
I'm happy for that.
All right, thank you, Mike. And now let's go to Matt Catrillo with tonight's sports report.
Good evening, Clarion. I'm Matt Catrillo with your Wednesday night sports report. The ALCS continued last night in the Motor City for Game 3 with the Texas Rangers up 2 games on the Tigers. Josh Hamilton got the Rangers on the board right away in the first with an RBI single that gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead. The Tigers would fight back as Victor Martinez went deep, giving the Tigers a 2-1 lead in the fourth. Miguel Cabrera then hit an RBI double in the fifth and added a solo home run in the seventh, and the Tigers led 5-1. The Tigers would hang on to win 5-2, cutting the Rangers' series lead in half, 2-1. The NLCS between the Brewers and the Cardinals is tonight on TBS, first pitch at 8:05. Giovanni Gallardo takes the hill for the Brew Crew, and Chris Carpenter will be on the hill for the Cardinals. In other baseball news, former Red Sox general manager Theo Epstein has agreed to a 5-year, $20 million deal with the Cubs. 2 sources said yesterday that the now former Red Sox general manager would indeed head to the north side of Chicago to become the new Cubs general manager. A Red Sox official told ESPNBoston.com's Jordan Eddes that it was likely it was going to go down, but nothing had been finalized. However, WEEI Radio in Boston reported that Epstein had agreed to deal with the Cubs. Epstein brought 2 World Series titles in 8 years to the city of Boston. And in NFL news, the Broncos named Tim Tebow their new starting quarterback yesterday for their next game against the Miami Dolphins. Ever since stealing the starting quarterback job from Tebow, Kyle Orton struggled mightily, causing all Broncos fans yearning for Tim Tebow. Orton was benched at halftime of Sunday's loss to the Chargers. Tebow came in and started slow, but then led a furious comeback that was one Hail Mary pass short. Broncos head coach John Fox says the reason for the 1-4 start for Denver is not just on Orton, but on everyone else as well. However, he knows that the changes needed to be made and is looking for a new spark. The Broncos will look to regroup over their bye week. That's a wrap of your Wednesday night sports. I'm Matt Catrillo, and have an Eagle-tastic night.
That's the news for tonight. Ariana Bay and Chloe Winters will be here tomorrow night, updating you with the latest in news, weather, and sports.
And don't forget to tune to CUTV every weeknight at 7:30.
For Matt Catrillo, Mike Friend, and everyone here at CUTV, I'm Britt Seahall.
And I'm Jillian Hartman. Change Your Tune is on next.